Hi, I'm Sean. Welcome to PopJunkie episode 14. And tonight we're being accessorised by IWantOneOfThose.com. Don't you just want one of those? Well, hi Victoria. I'll tell you what, you're not looking too well tonight. She's looking a bit green around the gills. I think she's taking this festival thing too seriously. She's been to Glastonbury and she's never been the same since she's got back. Are you in there? Ashley, it's not good. She's looking too intense.
All right, we know. Well, let's get rid of Victoria then. Bye. Hi, my name's Ashley. I'm currently forming a Right Said Fred tribute band, and if you're deeply dippy, come and join us.
I think I'm too sexy for my shirt.
So, do you like my sideys then?
Lovely. You're looking a bit Morrissey-esque actually there.
Brilliant. It'd be great if they did the comb over as well. What do you think?
It would work actually. Yeah, I think you could take
Bobby
it off.
Chow and Chic, bring it back.
Vegas meets kind of. You like something? I don't know. You like someone out of a kebab shop.
Well, you know, my ancestors were all Greek, but there you go. Now, Black Kids, are they this year's biggest, hottest new band, or a load of XFM, NME, pitchfork cooked hype?
Oh, I actually saw Black Kids at the Wireless Festival last week as well.
Good. I'll take this off, by the way.
Okay.
What do you
better
reckon?
like that.
Yeah.
I know. It's a bit dodgy now.
Okay.
Basically, Black Kids, the whole set, 25 minutes, everyone's holding out for, I'm not going to teach your boyfriend how to dance.
Great single.
Which is a great single, one of the best
Bit
tracks
like
of the
Cure.
year. Sounds like Just Like Heaven by The Cure, given a sort of a disco makeover.
Yeah.
Brilliant, great song. What about the rest of the set? Hold on a minute. That's the best song. All the other ones are pale imitations of it, or sound like dodgy disco copies from 1982. So I'll get the album, with an open mind.
Yeah.
Get it home.
So you got the album there. Have a look.
Got the album, Party Traumatic.
Okay. There you are, guys.
Get it home. Slide it.
Just to prove we have listened to it.
We have listened to it. I've actually bought it on the old-fashioned CD.
Blimey.
It's the bit in the CD player. First track sounds a bit like I'm not going to teach my boyfriend how to dance. Second track gets a little bit better. Sounds a bit like I'm going to teach my boyfriend how to dance. Get the feeling, get the picture,
I just get this whole thing. We talked about this last week about there's just too many bands ripping off like 19. It sounds like it's partying like it's 1983.
It starts with it started off with the Killers, didn't it? Basically, ripping off Joy Division, New Order, then Interpol getting on then the Editors. All these bands trying to sound like 80s indie bands.
Yeah.
And the thing is with this album, it's produced by Bernard Butler, who's producing everything at the moment. I'll get you. He's the Uber producer, isn't he? He's producing Duffy. He's producing, obviously Black Kids now.
Shame he didn't produce some decent solo albums a few years ago.
The first one was okay, second one was terrible. Charlene's Material, it's such
Which is great. We talked about that last week.
I was paying attention.
Like the single.
So obviously he's produced this. He's created like a disco sheen, synth edge to it. But really, there's a handful of tracks that are decent. Hurricane Jane, which was the follow-up single, sounds a little bit like New Order, which is great. I Want to Be Your Limousine is terrible. It sounds too much like the B-52. It's kind of dodgy electro rock.
Not a good influence.
There is a great track in here called I've Underestimated My Charm Again.
Yeah.
It does sound like a little bit like a Morrissey song title, doesn't it? The good thing about it is it sounds like Roxy Music having the theme from Auf Wiedersehen there.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
But I reckon you just get those hay-mails because I think a lot of people are going to really like the album,
Well,
got a feeling.
It's the thing is, it's
yours is just one opinion.
I know, but it's always right, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
No, it's kind of it's paper thin. It's a one-trick pony. It's disposable, so we'll get rid of that.
Oh dear. Bring back Pop in the Jezebels, I say.
Oh, that was a bit kind of fret wanky. Can I say that? I might have to say that.
I think you can. So right, okay, big week for me.
I was doing it again.
Oh, blimey.
Blimey, it's all out of control. It's all gone Sonic Youth.
It's all gone Brian May. Now, I'm going to see Magnetic Fields tonight, who did 69 Love Songs, possibly the greatest album of all time.
Yeah, fantastic record.
Next week, Brian Jonestown Massacre are back in town.
So all your favourite bands then?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Can't wait to see them, obviously. If you've never ever sampled them, go and buy Tepid Peppermint Wonderland, which is their kind of compilation. Absolute genius, brilliant band. You never know what you're going to get. So that's my week. But what have you been up to?
I've been listening to a lot of CDs. I haven't really been. I've been ill.
Just so retro.
Well, I'm down with the kids in the old school. I'm down with the Black Kids. I'm not anymore after that review.
You're down with the 35-year-olds, basically.
Yeah, I've been ill. As you said last week, I moved house and the builders upset me, and it got all out of control. And I got a bit serene over going to Morrissey. I got a bit overexcited.
So what have you got? Come on then.
Right, okay. A few things. Beck, Mob and Guild.
Now I'm hearing people comparing this to Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle.
Yeah, it's a bit psych, a bit garage. It's a return to form. Odelay was great, and he lost the plot of it, didn't he? Really, The Information was his last album, was dodgy hip hop.
Yeah.
One before, Guero, was a retread of Odelay, but not as good.
Yeah.
This is he's got Chan Marshall, Cat Power. She's on Orphans. She's on
I like the single, Chemtrails. The single,
Chemtrails is great.
It's a great video. It's kind of, again, floaty psych, isn't it?
It's got a bit of a spacey Brian Wilson vibe going on. There's some dirty blues on there, produced by Danger Mouse, but not as hip hop as you think it would be.
Well, but he produced, what's his name, didn't he? Shortwave Set.
They were going to do one track together, and it turns out they did the whole album. So
Beck is bright then.
We really like in Modern Guilt. Yeah.
What's next?
Dodgy Old Rockers.
Right, okay, we don't mind them too much. Who's this then?
Terrible cover, but Ian McLagan, one of my musical heroes, a keyboard player in the Small Faces and the Faces, well known for his kind of piano skills, Hammond B3
He played with Billy Bragg, didn't he?
He plays with the Blokes, Billy Bragg at the moment.
Yeah.
Sad, his wife died a couple of years ago, Kim, who was married to Keith Moon. So he wasn't sure whether he'd carry on, but he's got this band called the Bump Band.
Yeah.
This is a kind of a tribute album to his wife. Some of the songs are kind of inspired by her. You know, he didn't know if he'd actually make any music again, so it's quite a sad album.
Yeah.
But it does hark back to the sound of the Faces. You know, lots of country, blues, Hammond organ. Sometimes you wish he had a stronger voice. He's no Rod Stewart, but you know, it's sort of thing. If you like, you know, the bit on Jules Holland where he goes all boogie woogie, you'll probably like it. I'm enjoying it.
So, big week, you know, the retirement home for aging Smiths fans had their annual day trip and they went to see the old man himself perform in the O2 Wilds Festival in Hyde Park. I was washing my hair that night, but you turned up apparently.
I did, I was quiffing my hair and the sun stayed out and I didn't get my quiff.
Excellent, and now he said he was going to inhabit Hyde Park like a flea inhabits a dog.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
I'm itching to tell you about this.
Hey!
Yeah. You know, started off fantastic. You know, I'm a Morrissey fanatic. You know,
really?
Never
there you go. You heard it here first. Yeah.
It started off fantastic, but you know, rather like Morrissey himself, you know, it started to sag in the middle a bit, and like myself as well.
Yeah.
And it started off with Last and Famous International Playboys.
When a bit your Arsenal.
Well, yes.
Actually,
he disappeared up his own Arsenal for a bit. No,
really? Okay.
You know, Morrissey's only doing this big UK gig, apart from a few other gigs in Europe.
Yeah.
So you know, you're kind of holding out on you for a killer Morrissey set. You know, he doesn't play that much.
So I was going to say, right, he obviously played There Is a Light, Big Mouth Strikes Again, Suede Head.
So he didn't play any of those at all. I mean, you know, lots of.
Because this is a set list, by the way.
Yeah, I stole it from Morrissey. He signed it. I'm gonna have that back. Sorry, I'm just gonna cuddle it for a bit.
Did he really sign it?
No, he didn't. That's my signature.
You signed it.
Basically, you know, he played Ask. You know, First of the Game to Die, Irish Blood, English Heart. You know, you can't fault those, can you?
Yeah. Okay.
But why then? Why then suddenly throw in loads of new stuff in the middle that no one really paid much attention to?
See, I think this is not good that you're saying this because I like to think that people want to listen to new stuff. I'm intrigued. You know, I remember we saw him a few years ago at Brixton. He played Irish Blood, English Heart for the first time, and we went, wow. But the next Morrissey album's going to be great.
In a more intimate environment where you focus on it, in the middle of a park with loads of people who probably not that into Morrissey, the other distractions, it's not the place to try out and debut new material. I think you should do it, to more of your fans in a smaller environment. This set, it's sagged in the middle. You've got Mama Lay Me Soft on the Riverbed, which is new. Death of a Disco Dancer, not one of the greatest Smiths tracks.
No, it's a great Smiths track.
I'm throwing my arms around Paris. Why play Stretch Out and Wait when you've got There Is a Light? It doesn't make any sense.
But it must be boring for him. It's like your EMF. Okay, you're not going to play a gig without playing Unbelievable, are you?
No.
Even when you're playing down the Workington's Working Men Club, you're going to have to do it. And he's in a position that his fans will say, okay, fine. I actually think that's a really good set list, and I think you're wrong. I do like the fact that he's willing to play things like Death of a Disco Dancer.
Yeah,
he's nearly 20 years old. He's 20 years old.
I'm not dissing the fact that he played a lot of Smith songs, but I just think he made some poor choices, and the dynamic of the set just completely slowed down. Lost interest in the middle. I was,
Did he go down well? What was their kind of fan reaction?
Yeah, the fans loved it, but then he could come on stage and blow bubbles, and the fans would love it.
Yeah, well, we'll leave Michael Jackson at home. So,
no, I could try harder. In the last few teams,
I can't believe you're saying this. I was expecting you to, still be on sort of, cloud nine, going on and on about it, but it was more every day's like Sunday, really. It
was, yeah. And I've seen him a few times, and this wasn't one of his greatest performances.
Well, there you have it. So that's about everything for this week. Next week, anything exciting? I'm going to see Brian Jonestown Massacre. Did I tell you that?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, and Brian Jonestown Massacre. What about you? What are you up to? Anything exciting?
I'm probably just going to stay in and console myself over the Morrissey set that didn't really
do your own, couldn't you?
Yeah, they draw up your own Morrissey set lists.
Well, there you go. Perhaps there's competition there. Send us your own Morrissey set list. Victoria will be back, so I'll be gone. But anyway, see you next week.
Those long summer evenings are just going to fly by.